Hi there. My name is Robert Weiss. I live in New York City, and today I am coming from my rural home in Pennsylvania. And contrary to many of the people that have just been on before me, I have no direct contact with anything related to gun violence. But that doesn't mean that I am not affected. And that's kind of what I'm here, to chat about is how I am indirectly affected by all of this. And one of the previous attendees mentioned how he was at his kid's high school graduation thinking about, wow, what would happen now if there was a shooter with a gun? Or maybe somebody next to me has a gun. And I've felt that before. And that's really where the effect comes in, the feeling about not being safe. It's probably one of the worst feelings in the world because you're helpless. You can't do anything about it. And this is where we're at in this country when it comes to gun violence. And I've lived in a country that is safe. I lived in Japan for 4 years. It's probably one of the safest countries in the world. People feel safe. There is their culture, their mentality, their methodology is really not to harm, but to respect other people. And you just feel safe. There was not one time in those 4 years that I lived in Japan that I didn't feel safe. Now imagine that. If you could just take that whole level of being safe all of the time, how would that change your being? How would that change your philosophy, your outlook on anybody else that was around you if you just knew that you would be safe all of the time, right? You probably can't imagine that because that's not where we live in this country. And getting there would definitely take some time. But that's my experience and what I wanted to talk about. And if I can also kind of equate the mentality of not being safe to another period of my life of growing up, where we actually did drills. If there was a nuclear bomb, like what would we do if we were in school and there was a nuclear bomb alarm to go off? I mean, it sounds crazy, but that affected the culture of the time because there was a threat of a nuclear bomb, right? Especially in my area, which had a major naval base near it. So growing up, we always learned, probably up until high school, we always had that idea of maybe every year we were reminded that there could be a nuclear attack in our area. And it definitely changed the outlook of, sorry, I'm having some light issues here. It definitely changed the outlook of who we were and what we thought about to be unsafe. But now, as an adult, we don't have that threat of a nuclear attack, right? So we feel safe at least in that area. So again, I'm not directly affected. I don't know anybody. I've never been attached to anybody that has had even been directly affected by gun violence, thankfully. But as a general indirectness, being a person that lives in this society, I certainly am affected. And I hope people watching this, and I hope what we will get to is a place that we will make decisions based upon respect of one another and think about the long term culture of our nation and realize that the decisions we make today may not change today, but they will change tomorrow. And I'm looking at my notes here. One of the one of the things that I want to say is, we all think America is great, And one of the reasons we believe in this country and we think it's great is because of the diversity of our country. Right? We have a lot of cultural diversity, a lot of class diversity, a lot of capabilities that's just completely diverse. But that is also the worst thing about our country, is because everybody cares about themselves and can't make decisions based upon the greater good. So that's what I hope we'll get to, is a point where people will make decisions about the greater good, and we can at least take steps to end gun violence and be safe. Thank you very much.